Welcome to part 19 of FIFA 17 The Journey, and this is the last part in which we'll be in the championship of Aston Villa, which means no more Dino after this.
The most likable character.
I hope he comes back in season 2.
Well, if
But
he's still coach there.
Again,
But
it's
anyway,
such a
we
shame
got,
that you can't choose
anyway,
to
we'll-
stick around with a team because, I actually like Dino. I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not asking
They'll
for
probably
like...
give us a reason why we need to go out.
But
But anyway,
anyway,
what's the next match with Dwibs?
we're away to a team directly below us, actually. We're away
Derby
at Pride
County.
Park to Derby County. Derby County, who were a decent enough force in the mostly the early 70s and late 60s.
That's a very complex symbol for their team.
Well, they're called the nickname is the Rams.
No, it makes sense, but it's just the silhouette of a ram without impact.
Although Derby are also rather implementing the worst single season in Premier League history. Well, okay, without having had points deducted, I mean, Portsmouth, yeah, but other than that, okay, I'll look it up. Derby County's worst season was in fact, the worst season for any football club in the top flight was the 2007-2008 season, where they finished rock bottom after 38 games with only 11 points.
It's certainly a foul, but the referee's kept his cards in his pocket.
To make it even worse, the team above them, Birmingham City, ended on 35 points.
So
Derby only won one game all season.
So Dwibs, are you playing it as the team or as just Hunter?
All the team.
Okay.
Very straightforward save for the goalkeeper.
In fact, one thing I'm wondering, guys, when they do season 2, do you think what should I do? Should I just mute the in-game commentary?
Honestly, Dwibs, if it was for me, you should skip all the matches that are not interesting.
I don't think you can do that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the important ones with interesting stuff happens, like when you destroyed that team, like what 8-1 was interesting. But a lot of these matches seems to be like the same. That's
I'll admit that is a bit of
I
an
can't
issue.
manage for my life to like soccer/football.
I think
Because almost every match looks the same to me.
admittedly, part of the issue is the fact that, and look, okay, whether or not this is their first time doing a story mode, they could have made it so that the matches actually have more impact on the story. But the fact that, like, well, no matter what you do, you're gonna get shuffled off from team to team to team, and, like, well, the only thing that really changes is, like, what dialogue you can show off in interviews. There needs to be more. I mean,
it
okay.
seems to be still doing changes, Joel, but only on a gameplay technical level. You get your progression in terms of your stats and your fans, and you get even the interviews that raises your meter depending on what you decide to answer.
Oh, I
But
get
the
that.
thing
The issue is, like, well, the interviews
the
still have
actual
those...
story progression seems to be so scarce in between these matches. Like, stuff happens. Do like 33 matches for now
So
before
on
the
that
next
front,
thing happens.
Hold on. I guess some people who can actually look forward to an EA Sports E3 presence because they can learn more about any improvement Season 2 is going to have.
Yeah. Again. I mean, okay, look, yeah, people may say, oh, it's their first time doing story mode on a FIFA game. Again, look, I know that they didn't have that much in it, but come on, if you've got the team from BioWare, come on, you could have had more story impact.
Hold on, Pedro, I'm gonna answer you. It's Neo BioWare, Joel. What do you expect?
Well, okay, to be fair, even Neo BioWare can at
All
least do
BioWare did was just help
something
them
of a
with the
story.
choice system. That's about it.
The thing is, like, well, you did actually get enough different...
Hit the post, not too far out. Oh, and tap him.
Well, like I was saying, well, let's not forget that BioWare themselves have also got down the tubes.
Derby, not for nothing, but shouldn't you constantly have a man on everyone just to make sure that situations like this don't happen?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, you should.
Honestly, Jova, considering BioWare themselves have collapsed, joined that other group that Crobat showed at the end of that video that I showed too. Honestly, I don't know. I think at this point, no, it's just a matter of no good writer was in charge of this, I guess.
We're never gonna get a true Mass Effect 4, are we?
Although, it's ironic.
Well, Andromeda is supposed to be
sometimes-
that Land Rover, so
Wait,
you're gonna
but
have to like it.
But didn't Andromeda
ironic,
get... Oh, sorry, go on,
most
Dwibs.
of the time we keep banging on about sheep, and yet out of all the popular Welsh clubs, there isn't a sheep in sight. It's
Yeah,
on Derby.
we
Huh.
don't like to stereotype.
Well, Jova, doesn't Mass Effect Andromeda take place like 100 years after or something like that?
Wait, hold on.
600,
I thought you guys told me that Mass Effect
Ooh,
Andromeda
penalty.
was a spin-off,
Penalty.
though.
It is
Oh.
a spin-off, but it's technically in canon.
Yeah.
And the yellow card.
Spin-offs can be in canon.
So...
Basically, it's technically in canon, but they wanted it to be different, so make it 600 years in the future. There you go.
And it's far away.
So, question
Also,
then.
congratulations, Jova. Sorry,
Hold on.
What?
Dwibs.
Penalty.
So, question then. So, question.
Come on,
Whoa.
Dwibs.
You had
It's
that
a
one,
fucking-
Dwibs.
Pedro, try telling me that every single time I face a Welsh side in this game. Please.
Anyway, though, I
Jesus
mean,
Christ, you English and your penalty curse.
so why did they
Anyway,
even bother
but-
making Mass Effect Andromeda a spin-off if it's pretty much just Mass Effect 4? I mean...
Because what's his name? Shepard. Shepard is not the main character,
Yeah,
so I
Commander
guess.
Shepard.
Well, boo-hoo, just make a new trilogy then.
Well, that's what we were aiming to with Andromeda, but you
Then
know,
don't call it
Andromeda
a...
sucks.
Okay, look. Okay,
Well, Joe, it's kind of like with look, Layton's Mystery Journey. I mean,
okay, wait, hold on, just let me explain. Okay, I get that, like, well, they did that and that, but here's the problem, though. Them classifying it as a spin-off kinda comes off as I'm trying to say, well, guys, this is actually why this game isn't as great as the mainline, because, okay, look. For all its intents and purposes and problems we have with Face Eternity 4, that game is a mainline series, just because, I mean, despite the protagonist being different. I mean, I'm just gonna say this, just because you have a different protagonist, it kind of seems like a bit of a cheap way to try and excuse yourself by saying, oh, it's a spin-off, that's why it's not as powerful here and there, because, dudes, treat it like, if it plays like that game, does stuff like that game, and pretty much is not really that different from the main games, then treat it as a mainline game. I mean, heck, even Shadow the Hedgehog, which is technically a spin-off, you don't see it being advertised as a spin-off because, let's be quite honest, for all intents and purposes, that game might as well be a mainline game with how much it takes in canon
we're
with
2-0
it.
up now.
So, Joe, I'm guessing you would apply the same logic to Layton's Mystery Journey because, for all intents and purposes, it's also Layton 7.
Well, yeah, haven't Level 5 pretty much said that Lady Layton is Layton 7?
No, they never did actually. The Layton 7 mobile game has nothing to do with Layton's Mystery Journey.
Wait. Oh, you're talking about that Layton 7. I thought that thing was dead.
Yeah,
No.
We don't even know if it's still in canon or not.
Oh, not Layton Brothers,
Layton
dude.
7 is called Layton 7 because not because it's the 7th game, but because it involves 7 people, main characters or something like that.
I thought that thing got scrapped.
Okay,
Apparently it has, but we don't have
So,
confirmation.
Dwibs, how's the match so far?
it's 2-0. I'm not coasting exactly, but I'm doing all right. And also, this commentary could actually be a learning experience for both EA. Well, not the commentary, the game, but the commentary could also be a learning experience for me for when I do season 2 of this because because we've because some of the matches are important. That could cause us to go off topic a lot.
To your credit, Dwibs, it's not really your fault that, the main content of a story mode is so samey.
It's structured. It's not your
It would
fault.
be better. It would be better, Dwibs, if the plot genuinely changed because of what you do in the match of some sort. I'm not saying literally every single thing you do. Like depending on how you on whether you win or lose, have the plot move accordingly. Like again, like we said before, sometimes in these games you score like 5 goals per game or something, and yet the coach still acts like you fucking suck.
And I'm gonna be quite honest,
kind
Nick, the fact that
It is
that you're not even
mental
given.
logic.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, basically it's also a matter of pacing, as I said. There are way too much matches and training. I get what you mean because you need to boost up your stats and everything.
And experience the life of
And
an
I-
actual footballer.
And I get that they're trying to simulate, the life of a football, getting tossed and tossed between team and team. But
If you want to reach an agreement, have it customizable. Like depending on the difficulty you choose, it's more or less.
and if they really wanted to do the whole, oh, well, you don't have a choice whether or not you switch, well, maybe they could have it be like, well, if you suck, then that's why you get traded off.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the only problem. This entire thing could all be fixed if that was what happened. If you genuinely only got switched out if you were sucking, because there's no way a club would not want to keep a player that scores 5 goals per game.
Well, Joe, in another case of real life can impact the plot. The only time a player can get transferred to another club is during August and January in England.
Well, okay. I mean,
everywhere actually, dude.
yeah, and besides, I mean, okay, we're speaking realism aside, though. Okay. Not ultra realism, but realism in the sense that, you know, common sense. Like, seriously, why would a team get rid of their all-star player who got them some of the amazing victories you've gotten them? Like,
because we have Harry Kane now. Who needs this young upstart?
I mean, and again, Dwibs, it's not your fault because, I'll be quite honest, if you edited out all the matches that weren't unique or something, this playthrough would probably be like, 5 parts.
Long.
Yeah, what I said. Thanks, Lips.
Wow,
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I'm actually really proud of that shot I scored from outside the box. I mean, look at it.
Anyway, what I was saying earlier, Jova, is that okay, like you yourself said, Leighton 7, but this one probably was scrapped because they haven't talked about that in over a year.
Not to mention, apparently fans weren't too happy with how Leighton 7 looked.
But the main
Yeah,
reason
Leighton 7
was
is the
being
opposite effect. It's like, well, that was a game that should have been more classified as a spin-off, but then as Leighton 7, which is completely different, which is...
The main reason why Leighton 7 was probably even started production was because, again, this was before Yokai Watch became the overnight success that it did. So Level 5 wasn't...
Oh, I just scored again.
Wow.
So Level 5 didn't have the financial comfortability of being able to risk another Leighton game. But now that Yokai Watch is a thing, fortunately they're allowed to. So basically, it's kind of a similar thing. Sorry,
how
go
long
ahead.
was it since I scored the last goal before that one just?
I don't know. You probably scored. Okay, it's 5-0. How many of these goals were from Alex?
Well, the score thing tells us how many goals someone scored.
Next time it's screwed up, Dwibs, I'll tell you, don't worry.
It's a similar thing with Wonderflick. Wonderflick was supposed to be their next big JRPG, but when Yokai came out, okay, now we can actually make Nino Kuni 2. Okay, in that case, scrap Wonderflick.
Although one thing that I do appreciate that if a team at home's getting absolutely thumped, the commentators will bring up that the home crowd have just gone completely silent and just start walking off.
Because that's how you support your team.
Yeah, that actually does happen.
I know. It happened to Swansea like a lot last year, like a hell of a lot.
Oh, really?
But you know one thing.
Yeah,
that's a bit...
well, to be fair, Jova, they were that shit.
but speaking, but on that subject though, in the most recent FA Cup semi-final, in real life, seeing us Chelsea, and while we beat them 4-2, it was a really close fought game, and yet apparently Spurs fans are giving them shit for it, and we're walking out the pitch, and we're walking off the pitch before the match even ended.
Now you see, with Swansea, they were just being outright terrible, as everyone knows, but that, I mean, a close game is like, how can you be mad at that, really? I get winning is nicer, but come on, like, be nice.
Although, again, once again, you're talking in real life terms, it's a close run battle between Swansea and Hull as to who's going to get relegated. I mean, Swansea did themselves some favours by beating Stoke. That probably annoyed my Stoke supporting friend, but still.
Just to finish what I was saying. Okay, but ignoring Leighton 7, Jova, like originally it was called Lady Leighton, but now they changed the name to Leighton's Mystery Journey, even though it takes place like 20 years after Leighton 6, aka has no legacy. Lost Future. So I'm guessing you would have preferred if they call it Professor Layton and something instead of Layton's Mystery Journey?
No, Well, okay. I will say this though. Okay, I will say this though. It is a bit weird that they changed the name to Professor Layton, since it's more about his daughter. But I guess she.
No. They changed. They didn't change the name to Professor Layton. They changed it to Layton's Mystery Journey. By Layton, they mean Catriel Layton.
Yeah,
not
it works because the
It
last
works.
name is the same.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It
I mean,
actu-
if Leighton was his first name, I'd understand, but third name, so I'd
Yeah.
say it's fine.
Oh, it actually does work.
Like,
Personally, I would have.
the brand for the franchise at this point, so
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
It works in
True,
a business
but I kinda
sense.
prefer Lady Layton. I actually preferred if they called it Lady Layton and something. It would be a perfect, kind of like
Yeah,
Professor
I like
Layton
Lady
and
Layton,
something.
honestly.
I would have. Don't get me wrong. It's only a title, so I don't really care in
My-
any way. But I would have preferred Lady Layton. Honestly.
My guess is
Unless
that they.
America changes it, then
My-
we care.
My
Love
guess
that
is that
comment.
they
Love that
changed
comment,
it for a
Fury.
business.
Winking at the even more than J.J. Abrams.
My guess is that they changed it for a business setup. With the name Layton, it'll sell the most or something.
Apparently in Japan, it's still called Lady Layton.
All right, guys, the match is over.
How did you fare?
Well, how do you think I fared?
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to see the goals. Who made it? Oh, 6-0. Hard to get.
Is that pro? No.
What does that trophy specs mean, Dwibs?
I don't know. I didn't check.
Yes. No.
Well, I was
maybe,
recording. I can't stop.
I don't know.
Well, to be fair to you, I was recording at the moment. I could just stop the playthrough just to check a trophy.
Well, having the game, I thought you had checked the trophy list in advance, knowing what you were expecting.
Nah, I don't. I'm not a trophy person.
Shame on you. Where's your completionist bonus? Spirit.
Goals in consecutive matches from Mr. Alex Hunter.
So now what? The training?
Yep, training. So what am I gonna do?
Oh, never mind. It's also named that in Japan. Ignore me.
Oh, so it is. Oh, so they did change the name in Japan.
Yeah.
Headers
My-
and volleys and chance
Again.
creation.
Again, my best guess is that they did it for marketing purposes.
I don't really care. It's just a title, so whatever.
Yeah.
By the way,
Besides,
guys, after
Japan
this,
always
after
has
this,
different titles
Yes, Dwibs?
anyway.
after this training session, we've got a
Cutscene.
we've got a big epic match against Hull City in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, Hull City. Hull City is actually one of the right now. Hull City is giving a lot to talk about because ever since Marco Silva, one of our most recent promises in Portuguese football coaching, took over Hull City, and he managed to get them off of relegation zone. He's been doing some amazing work at Hull City recently.
Well, as I said earlier, though, they're still in quite a tight battle with Swansea.
They are, but you have to admit, Dwibs, you weren't expecting Hull City to make such a comeback. Come on.
Well, to be honest, I wasn't expecting them to get that kind of manager. To be honest.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Marco Silva, when he was over here, he did some fantastic work, and even before Hull City, he was at Olympiacos, where he broke records of literally the biggest winning streak in Greece football history. So he's basically our most recent promise in terms of football coaching.
Hull City are like the Birmingham City of the 2010s. They keep yo-yoing in and out the Premier League.
Mm-hmm. I won't be surprised if a big English club picks up Marco Silva in the next season.
Come on.
Well, again, yeah, this.
Maybe Liverpool will get him.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
for those who aren't aware, Liverpool is not doing too well this season.
No. They recently lost to Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking Crystal Palace or anything, but they're not exactly a
Shameful
footballing
display.
heavyweight, are they?
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're in the same division.
It's sad when even Man U is doing better than them now.
You know what I've been thinking about recently? I wonder if at this point we should just change the name of both the English Football League and the English Premier League to the English Football League with a bit of Welsh in there somewhere.
No,
The
no,
UK
you
League.
just have to say it in Welsh.
Well, actually, Dwibs, technically it's called the Premier League. It doesn't say that it's the England League. So I guess it can still work with the name it has.
Maybe. Although I'll still, again, I know it's been a tradition for like hundreds of years having a Welsh club play in the English leagues, but I still think it's a bit weird having to go outside of England to play a match in the English league.
Well, Dwibs, it's actually Dwibs, here in Portugal we kind of do the same thing because we have Portugal has two specific islands that when we were to travel there, you literally have to go for either boat or plane, and it's still a bit like a half a day's journey through plane and stuff like that. And the clubs on those two islands are also in the Portuguese league, and we have to go there. So it's actually more common than you think. Trust me.
Frequent flyer, Dwibs.
Yeah.
But Pedro, another question: do those two islands also speak Portuguese?
Yes, they do. Well, but don't the Welsh speak Portuguese? English as well.
Welsh speak Portuguese. Well, half of them. Well, half the Welsh.
I'm getting confused. Anyway, the point is, from what I can tell, English is very prominent in Wales.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've been there recently 2 weeks ago.
In the south, anyway.
Aren't those either like ex-colonies or something?
They were originally, yes,
anyway,
but at this point they're officially part of the country.
But anyway, guys, enough of that.
So now what?
Enough of that. Now we get to have our big epic match against Hull City in the FA Cup. Are you guys excited?
What difficulty setting did you put them on?
Funny thing you mentioned that, Jova, because I'm going to go into it now. Come on, Dwibs, hurry up. What are you doing? Getting in the bathroom?
Any moment now.
Right, the tiger.
I'm building up excitement, guys. So we get to the screen. I'm so looking forward to this, and come on, and we can't even play the match is simulated.
Wait, what?
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 Why?
Wait,
no
what?
indication. The match is simulated, and we lost.
Wait,
What?
what? Wait,
It's
what?
like Blitzball in
Uh,
Final Fantasy X.
Hold on. Where's this coming from? What?
We got dropped to the reserves, meaning we didn't even get on the subs bench for some reason.
Wait, what?
What?
Right into this cutscene.
But you were doing good. What? Did something decide that, or?
Okay.
So,
What?
okay, so
What?
you said to cut
Okay,
the
let's listen.
uninteresting
Cutscene,
matches, and they
guys.
cut the interesting ones.
Let's listen, I guess.
Since you come to us, it has been a good moment for this club and for you, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll be bringing around bigger Dickus at least.
Hopefully the second half of the season will be even better.
For you, I think yes. For us,
What's so funny
not
about
What?
much.
stickers?
Are we doing this again?
This
Here we
morning,
go.
I receive a mail from your club. They are requesting that you return to them.
Oh,
Well, back to Swansea.
so let me get this straight. No matter what team you go to,
Hang on,
you're
this is still a cutscene, Jova.
Oh,
It's
that's
nice to
why.
be wanted back home, man. But I'll miss the lads here. They're a good bunch.
much better than
And
those
you two, Alex, will
jerkwads.
be missed. Both on and off of the pitch.
Oh. Don't leave
Wait.
Dino.
Well, you can choose to be a dick, but I don't want to do that. I love Dino.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't leave me, Dino. Don't follow
What was
me
that all
wherever
about,
you can.
you know, it's a shame that we can't just stick on this team and help them get out of the relegation zone.
Well, to be fair, Jova, the purpose of a loan move, or part of it, is to get more experience, and Hunter's only just started.
Oh god, the inspirational sports music.
Well, Jova, this is
Remember, it's
looks
done by
like
half the noisy duo.
this is looks like the generic sports movie plot, so it needs to have those cliches.
So let me get this straight. Our team who kicked us out for no reason now wants us back for, I guess,
No,
some
It's because we've been doing well, basically.
Well, to be
It
fair,
happens a
Jova,
lot.
well, okay, Jova, to be fair, this cutscene coming up, yeah, okay, this is, okay, well, the training session comes after the cutscene, but anyway,
Yeah,
here's where we are on the
it's-
table.
You get greeted by your dick friend who says
I
you
swear,
should
I swear we were near top of the table when I left Swansea, and now we're just fourth.
Wow, they went downhill, I guess, after...
But anyway, here we go. There's a reason why they brought him back.
Oh, it's a story one.
Look who's back.
Yeah.
Miss me, Lily?
Un petit peu.
French.
Welcome back, Alex.
Thank you.
What up, Mr.
Don't care. I'm already out the door anyway. Andy.
Oh,
Oh,
Gus.
great.
It's
Let's
big.
go try
It's,
back in.
Mr. Douche Nozzle.
So, you
You think he can fill my shoes, eh?
Oh,
they're-
look
they're
at that. He
firing
got
him.
his comeuppance off screen.
No, they'll explain in a bit, Jover.
Well, like I said, off screen comeuppance.
Tell you what,
Here we go. No, it's not that. They'll explain in a minute.
it'll be out there.
Yeah.
And thank you, Shiro, for finding me that clip.
No problem.
That's what you missed, hombre.
All right, show's over. Get your backsides out on the training pitch.
I already missed Dino.
You know,
Is this cutscene coming up, Jover? They'll explain the whole
Hey,
thing just then. Here we go.
You want to be mindful of the company you keep, Alex.
What?
idea what's gotten into him, boss.
Yeah, well, a little fame can be a dangerous thing, Alex.
Why are you yelling at me?
Family almost.
yeah, I'm gonna have to
Never
start
spoke
joke
to
on
him
this one.
once while I was out.
I have to be stereotypical dickhead.
Here.
Walker put in a transfer request, Hunter.
Eh.
Board's already accepted an offer. From our biggest rivals, no less. It's madness.
So
You ready to take your
Dickus
chance,
put in a
lad?
transfer request because he thought, oh, I'm much too big for Swansea. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Never mind the fact that Swansea are apparently in the good place soccer-wise, so...
And you've only been there 4 months.
So, question, how higher can he go from here if they're technically out of the relegation
Every time
zone?
you step
Like, is
out
there
on
like a
that
higher
pitch.
league or club or something?
No, there is no higher league in
The
England.
Premier League is the highest league, Joe.
Right.
So, why does he want to transfer? What advantage?
Because
He
he's an
wants to-
arsehole.
I don't know. He wants to go to Chelsea. I don't know.
Because
So let
he's
me
an
guess,
arsehole.
the final match of the season will be against him.
You know.
Yeah.
There's attention thing within that clip because he probably would be at least more funny and entertaining if he was played by Gilbert Gottfried.
All right, let's get to work.
Well, Gilbert Gottfried pretty much has
sorry,
that...
Alex, but I need to bait you.
Gilbert Gottfried has that talent to pretty much make any character you see that he's played by
I
actually
said
be
this before.
entertaining and good.
No. I said this before to Teo even. Like, he's the only actor I know who can intentionally sound annoying and yet somehow come off as funny. I have no idea how he does it, but only him
Magic.
can do it.
Another funny thing is, like, well, whenever he guest stars on a Disney Channel original show, that episode is actually pretty good. Case in point, stuff like Hannah Montana. Yeah,
and I instantly failed.
Congratulations.
So,
Well,
let me get this-
Yeah, you have to do a long cross. If any ball hits the wall at any point, you fail immediately. Anyway,
There you go.
Say, Jover?
So okay, so again, no matter how good or bad we do, Swansea just wants us back because our old friend is leaving. They don't care a lick about us.
Well, again, well, to be fair, Jover, he was acting like a right hothead right before. Yeah, ever since he started for the club.
Well, what else is new in soccer?
But no, but Jover, this is different. He wasn't accepting any texts. He wasn't accepting any calls. And every time I tried to talk to him, he was just like, whatever.
And of course, the main thing is that fame goes to his head. No kidding. But even still, though, even for someone whose fame has gone to their head, this guy was presented as our friend since childhood. And that just makes him turn like
The
that?
writing is so contrived.
Jover, there's a cutscene. I don't know if I'll get it in this playthrough, but even if I don't, I'll show it anyway. There's a cutscene coming up that's kind of puts a bit of a sour, puts a really sour note on their friendship.
Question,
Okay,
is that a
first
cutscene
thing-
that's based on whether or not you win a certain match?
And then if you get to the FA Cup final.
Okay, EA, feedback for Season 2 of The Journey. Get someone who can actually write a plot.
I won't tell you guys what it is, or do you want me to just tell you now?
Everyone's dead.
Sure,
Like
why
this
not?
is like Tail said earlier. This is the
basically.
Go
All
ahead.
right, I'll explain it now. Basically, it's a shame really. I wanted to do an edit of this, but whatever. I couldn't really do it well anyway. Basically, if we get to the FA Cup final, the team that Dickhead picked is the one that we're facing off against.
Obviously.
And he tells Alex, the only reason why I became your friend in the first place all those years ago was just because your granddad had contacts in the game.
And he's serious?
Wow, really?
Yeah. Basically, he's been our friend since. He's been hatching this plan since he was like 8 years old, just so he could get playing in football.
That's a comic book villain motivation.
Heck, even comic book villains would laugh at that.
Could you imagine him hatching this plot to himself in that when he's like 8 years old? I will fake friends with this Alex Hunt.
Okay.
Who wrote
all the football?
Are you serious?
Who wrote this script? Aaron Sorkin?
Shiroi, question.
Yes.
Can you imagine a plot like that? Imagine Alice only became your girlfriend because she's been planning years and years to steal your rich heritage, which you will somehow apparently have from your great-great-grandfather, who will turn out to have been Welsh royalty. And she did all that studying and blah, blah,
What
blah.
I tell you about your fan fiction?
Yeah.
Well, Shiroi, but Shiroi, that's exactly what this is. I mean, that's exactly what this is.
Yeah,
but
evil dickhead hatches his evil dickhead.
You're not a part of a corporation. Like, have some dignity.
Okay, but I just realized that.
Sorry, evil. Hang on a second. But that's basically what this is. Evil dickhead hatches a grand evil diabolical master plan at the age of 8 to fake credit just because his granddad had contacts in the game so he could get more popular.
Okay, Dwibs, you have to make it to the FA Championship because I've got to actually see that line for myself. And considering how you seem to be curb stomping a lot.
Anyway, what are you gonna say, Pedro?
I get the feeling that the guy who wrote this is some kind of EA guy who wished he was a footballer instead of an EA Sports designer, and he made this as his personal fan fiction of him being a footballer.
Okay, question, Dwibs.
Yes.
If you somehow don't make it to the FA Cup, is there like an alternate story sequence or something?
I don't think you just don't get that cutscene from what I can remember.
Really? That's it?
Is how the pros live.
Well, there's other cutscenes as well.
Take care of you. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, again, it seems like, well, no matter what you do, you're gonna get, cutscenes. I mean, I guess the cutscenes that would change are like, well, okay, question. Is there any cutscene directly tied to if you actually lose?
Actually, funny enough, I actually watched. I was at my friend's house, and he played that FA Cup final match, and it just skips to the final cutscene with Hunter and his daddy issues.
But Dwibs, you got your game spoiled.
So, okay. In that case, Dwibs, for the sake of us getting the most story, I implore, do your best to get to the FA Championship in this playthrough, which shouldn't be...
I've been cheesing half these games, remember?
Yeah.
Anyway,
wow.
Okay, first of all, spoilers. And 2, join us in part 20 when we make our full return to Swansea City and we're playing against the mighty Arsenal.
Alright, see you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.